There's a strange feeling that some people carry their entire lives. It's not loneliness exactly, it's not shyness, and it's definitely not a lack of social skills. It's the feeling of never fully fitting in anywhere. You can be surrounded by people and still feel slightly out of place. You can belong to groups, friendships, even families, and yet always feel like you're standing half a step outside the circle. If that's ever been you, this video is going to feel uncomfortably familiar because psychology shows something most people never realize. Some minds are not designed to blend in. They are designed to observe, question, and remain separate. And no, that doesn't mean something is wrong with you. In fact, it often means the opposite. Let's start with something basic but rarely talked about. Most social systems are built around similarity, shared interests, shared energy levels, shared ways of thinking. But not everyone's brain prioritizes similarity. Some people naturally operate with higher internal awareness. They notice patterns, subtle emotional shifts, unspoken rules. And when you see more than others, blending in becomes harder because fitting in usually requires not noticing certain things. Psychologists call this a social attunement asymmetry. It means you're often more aware of the environment than the environment is aware of you. You sense when conversations feel forced. You feel when group energy doesn't match your own. You notice when people perform instead of connect. So even when you're included, something feels off. And here's the important part. This isn't a flaw, it's a different cognitive orientation. People who don't fit in often have the strong internal identity. They don't unconsciously borrow meaning from groups. They generate meaning internally. That makes group belonging feel optional, but also fragile. Now add one more layer. Many people who never fit in learned early that adaptation was necessary. Maybe they moved often. Maybe they were emotionally independent too young. Maybe they realized early that being themselves didn't always lead to acceptance. So they learned to observe first, blend just enough, but never fully dissolve into the group. And over time, this creates a strange paradox. You're socially capable, but rarely socially satisfied because fitting in was never your real goal. Here's where it gets deeper. Humans are wired for belonging, but not all belonging is the same. Some people seek belonging through shared identity, teams, trends, labels. Others seek belonging through shared understanding, and that's much harder to find. If you've never fit in, chances are your brain prioritizes depth over alignment. You don't feel connected just because you're in the same room or the same group. You feel connected when someone gets how you think. That's rare, which is why people like you often feel more at home in one-on-one conversations than in groups. Why surface-level socializing drains you. Why you can enjoy people but still feel unseen. Neurologically, this links to higher activity in the default mode network, the system responsible for self-reflection, meaning-making, and internal narrative. In simple terms, your mind is always processing, groups move fast, Internal processors move deep, and depth doesn't thrive in environments built for speed. This is also why people who don't fit in often become overthinkers, creators, observers, quiet leaders, or people who feel older than their age. You're not disconnected from people. You're disconnected from roles, from social scripts that say, this is how you're supposed to act. This is what matters. This is what success looks like. Your mind keeps asking a dangerous question. Does this actually make sense to me? And that question alone separates you. But here's the part nobody warns you about. When you don't fit in anywhere, you can start assuming the problem is you. You try to adjust. You try different versions of yourself, different groups, different environments. And each time it almost works, but never fully. That's when people either shrink or they detach completely. But there's a third path most never take. Understanding that not fitting in is not a failure of belonging. It's a signal of a different role entirely. Here's what most people never realize. People who don't fit in anywhere usually stop trying much earlier than others, not because they give up, but because they see through the game. They notice that fitting in often means shrinking parts of yourself, laughing at things that don't feel funny, caring about things that don't actually matter to you. So instead of forcing belonging, they quietly step back. Psychologically, this is where something important happens. Your sense of identity stops being external. You don't define yourself by groups anymore. You define yourself internally. That's why people like you often feel calm alone, but slightly disconnected in crowds. It's not social anxiety, it's misalignment. And here's the upside most people never talk about. People who never fit in tend to build a strong inner world. They think deeply, they question norms, they create meaning instead of borrowing it. Many of them later find belonging, but only after they stop chasing it. So if this video felt uncomfortably accurate, you're not broken, you're not antisocial, and you're definitely not alone. You just weren't designed to disappear into the crowd. And before you go, let me ask you something. If you've ever felt like this, if you've always felt slightly out of place, leave a comment and tell me, does this describe you? And if this helped you understand yourself a little better, don't forget to like the video. It tells the algorithm this kind of content matters, and it helps this channel reach people who need it.